Betting on sports can be hard, but hiring Morgan & Morgan is easy. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/bestbets or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/bestbets. This is a paid advertisement.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN. The good.
Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good.
The bad.
I've had it with this job. Got no food, got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
And the ugly.
First of all, that's horrible.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
It's a layup, but I have to do it. Josh Allen and the Bills, now $9, minus 1,000 at Caesars and Will Hill to win the MVP. 30-plus points, 8 games in a row. Ties the record, 559 yards on the road, gashing the Lions, and certainly the 1 seed not out of play. And a good call by Adam Chernoff before the year to recommend him 7-8-1 as well.
I'm calling it.
You think it's over?
It's over.
Fair enough. Yep.
Pats twice, Jets in there.
Sure. He should go off against the Patriots and definitely the Jets. And I'll tie it into the playoff picture with the injuries, what's going on in Detroit, Mahomes leaving, the playoff picture, and the 1 seeds. You know what? I wouldn't want to see the Rams. I certainly want to see Tampa. The Packers are good. This NFC playoff's now going to be nuts.
Yep.
Kansas City minus $2 to get the 1 seed. Bills plus 160. Lions $1.05, Philly plus 160, Minnesota plus 450. Minnesota's got a tough schedule, but they can do this. As long as they're in position where the division's on the line week 18 against Detroit, I like their chances because you got 15 guys on IR on defense alone. Right. And now Montgomery's out for the year, and they were 7-1 before what happened yesterday. So first things first, they have to beat the Bears tonight, but the playoff pictures, and especially in the NFC, this thing's wide open.
All right, my good. I got to look at a couple of defenses. First of all, Houston picked off 2 or 3 times, and some of those plays, the one by Stingley, where he grabbed it out of Tyreek Hill's hands.
Oh, what a
just
play.
As good as it gets right there. Created another turnover, held Miami to 224 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. They sacked 2 or 3 times as well. That defense, because we saw this against Buffalo, Josh Allen had his worst game of the year. He was absolutely terrible. That defense is good enough to win the AFC. The problem is the offense. I don't know what happened. I'm stunned at watching this offense. Anyway, the defense deserves their flowers after yesterday's performance, as does Philly's defense. Pittsburgh had 10 first downs, and they ran 41 plays. That's it. Now, Philly's offense couldn't get off the field. They ran 77, but they had 163 yards of total offense, 4 yards per play. Philly's defense forced 2 turnovers, and Russell Wilson had 128 yards passing. Things are looking great for Philadelphia in the NFC with what's going on in Detroit.
Mitchell is now the favorite defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year, excuse me.
Probably should be.
We pointed that out. Yep. We'll look at the move there. Yep.
Is he still plus money, though?
No, he's like $1.15.
He
flipped reverse.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is going to take off, I think, and be one of the next biggest things in all of sports betting. We've only touched on it briefly, basically, because it's kind of new out here to us at legal sports books, the live player props and how to approach these games. The perfect example was in the Buffalo-Detroit game yesterday, when Detroit couldn't do anything early on in the game and they fell behind 14-0. And they had more injuries, and you noticed the defense was not going to get Buffalo off the field. The prop to attack the entire game was Jared Goff. You could tell, and Montgomery got hurt. They weren't going to keep running the football. So I'm talking everything here. I'm talking completions, attempts, yards, the whole shebang.
Oh, wow.
Anything that you would have bet on Goff would have cashed yesterday. But that's what you need to... It's tough when all these games are going on at the same time. It's way easier when it's a primetime game. The live player props and something like that, when you can predict game flow, beautiful for live betting. My bad, the Chargers defense overall, here are the numbers. Buccaneers, more than 500 yards of offense, 7 yards per play. Tampa had the ball for 37 minutes. Like, everybody shined yesterday. Baker was 22 of 27 for 288, 4 touchdowns. Mike Evans, as he said, 9 for 159 and 2 scores, and Bucky Irving had 15 for 117. Yeah, you're right, Paul. They're going to be a problem in the NFC playoffs. and I got to put this in my bad with the New York Jets because it was fun yet. Don't tell me.
Oh, no, you're right.
That this team is going to get hot to close the season, and they're going to say, we need to run all this back now.
Yes.
Please don't tell me they're going to do that.
Yeah. Keep Adams, keep Rodgers. Look how good the offense has been.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all right there. That's my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Marshall opts out of the bowl game. Come on. I know there's a ton of guys in the portal, but you have enough guys to play. Just, again, I need some notice. Let me know. Because then you could have grabbed the UCLA or a Wisconsin and plenty of time. Because now you look and kids weren't around and they left campus, and thank God Louisiana Tech jumped in. Mm-hmm. But it's just give me, if you want to, you can't do this. It's unacceptable.
It's a black eye for college football.
Yeah, and then if you're going to do something like this, give me notice.
Also, as Nick Bogdanovich said last hour, whoever came up with this idea of the transfer portal right now, that person's in charge somewhat of college football.
Yeah.
Did you think this one through?
I know, and that leads me to this. 6 days. 6 days before a playoff game, the Penn State backup quarterback hits the portal. Unbelievable. Also the quarterback play and the turnovers. Cincinnati, Tennessee, 10 combined turnovers. Winston and Levis, 3 interceptions both and benched. Tua, 3 interceptions and a fumble. The Indy-Denver game, all the turnovers in that game. Jake Hayner's performance, and the Browns had 6 turnovers. Terrific what was going on in some of these games. My ugly, I'll go 1A and 1B. 1A, Taylor drops the ball at the 1-yard line. Would have been a 41-yard touchdown run, would have put the Colts up 20-7. The game was over, completely flipped. They were outscored 24-0 the rest of the way. It also happened earlier in the day with Battle for Cincinnati. Would have been a scoop and score. He drops the ball at the 1-yard line, no touchdown. As I tweeted yesterday, and they showed Caesars tweeted out the replay of the Taylor fumble. This should have ended and been a one and done with Deshaun Jackson. The fact, and I compared it to ghost riding earlier. Go back, YouTube it, all the clips where it was cool for like a month. I'm going to jump out of my car while it's going on, driving, and all. Why does this keep happening? In the 1B, Steichen, the double pass play, down 4 with 12 minutes. This is a playoff game. If you lose, you're out, essentially. Denver now 94% to get in. Well, this quote after the game, well, it worked in practice. Surely you thought he was going to throw it down the field, not back to Richardson, which it was telegraphed, and you could see it coming a mile away. The Saints ran that. That's how you're supposed to run it. Great catch by Kamara, touchdown, well done. To throw it back across his body, across the field, 7 points on a platter. Oh, just leave everyone at the airport at that point. Steichen, Taylor, you did this in the biggest game of the season. I can't believe it. All-time bad.
You were going to win the game.
Yes.
Pretty confident saying that. They would have moved to a gigantic favorite live betting if Taylor doesn't drop the ball.
Midfield, too. Double pass play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And that, you're absolutely right. That was basically a playoff game. All these games are so important down the stretch. It killed me to watch it yesterday with Jonathan Taylor. And by the way, if anybody, this is my ugly, to add on to what you said. If anybody has like video out there, audio on Jonathan Taylor or any other player ever getting asked about why you would do this and they have a reaction, I would love to see it. I want to know what the answer is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it keeps happening.
Like your thing with the ghost, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think this is cool? Why? Explain to me how the risk is worth the reward. Because in your mind, you think it's cool when you drop it as soon as you go into the goal line, but if you drop it beforehand, you look like the biggest idiot to ever play sports. Nothing is more maddening to me than this. And oh, by the way, I didn't have any action on that game. I didn't have him anytime touchdown. I'm talking about as a fan now of the sport, this is taking the cake now, number one overall. Biggest boneheaded thing that any player can do in sports. There's no explanation for it. There's no way Jonathan Taylor can come out and justify this and sound like, I get it now, or any other player. You can't do it. So That would have been 19-7 again. Do they go for one or go for two? Who knows?
Right.
Knicks already had 3 INTs in the game. And oh, by the way, Denver was outgained 310 to 193.
Yep. Oh. Thanks to the tweets. Corley was the guy for the Jets.
Corley.
Would have been
Corley.
his first touchdown of his career.
Had to drop it, though.
Did the same thing on Monday Night Football.
My blood is boiling right now just thinking about it and going over it right now.
I don't understand it.
Nobody does, Paul. It's you can't. Jameis Winston and Will Levis. I don't know which is worse. Winston 3 INTs in 25 attempts. Levis had 3 INTs on 12 attempts. You could probably make the case that Winston might be worse because he's been in the league now for a decade. It's only year number 2 for Will Levis. I can't trust Will Levis as far as I could throw him. And I thought Bryce Young was bad.
Same thing every week.
Are we going to make a mistake by, shoving dirt on his grave? Because at least Young has shown some promise here.
No. Levis can't play.
And unfortunately, my last ugly, the Detroit Lions and the injuries.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I honestly think that they were the best team in the NFL. I said this earlier, with a bullet, with no injuries. And now, right now, speaking, they are the 3rd best team in their own division. Carlton Davis, the latest here, jaw injury, did not return.
Yeah.
Khalil Dorsey, carted off ankle injury. McNeil, out for the year. That's now like 16 injuries on defense for the entire season.
Good point. If they did a round robin, I would have them 3rd.
Yeah.
I would take the Packers and the Vikings.
It's
too
You
bad.
want to talk about a day of darkness for Lions fans. And look, they can still win it, but I mean, oh boy, they're up against it at this point. Up next, on that note with that team, you want to talk about one of the worst beats you're ever going to see on a season-long bet? Oh, it's out there, and it is spectacular. I'll give you the details on that coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
How about this for a bad beat? Our buddy Indiana Jet, who was one of 4 people to split Circus Survivor last year, he tweeted us a photo of it too. David Montgomery's season-long rushing total on FanDuel was 775.5. Now it's been announced that he's going to have season-ending surgery done for the year. Guess how many yards he's going to finish? Did you see the tweet?
No.
He has 775.
Oh, boy.
And it was 775.5. That hurts.
Oh, boy.
But I
What
guess
a racket.
I guess another reason to bet unders, right? Because so much can happen.
Yeah.
That's horrible, dude. I'm sorry to see that.
How can this? It's every week. I can't believe it keeps going on and on. 3 more guys on the defense. Montgomery for the year. Although they do get, the news seems to be encouraging on Hutchinson, though.
Well,
I think they would have to make the NFC title game, but
that's way easier said than done right now again.
That's why we're getting a 1 seed and at least winning the division's imperative.
And you could, again...
You can outscore someone. I can see it. Their offense is loaded.
Yeah.
You have no problem scoring. It's just, can you stop something?
To me, it's not even worth going down the path of who are their potential, first-round team B if they got the bye. Well, all these teams that are going to make the NFC playoffs can score on offense. Like Tampa already went there and won. They didn't do anything on offense in that game, but Tampa beat them. They played them tough last year.
Yeah, that's a game they can win, though. Baker can turn it over.
Yeah.
And it's also, Campbell would have to play we're going for it every 4th down, and just we're going to have to be perfect on offense. I could see.
Rams can beat them.
Yeah.
With this defense, how are they going to slow down that offense for Los Angeles? Packers can beat them. Vikings, they play one more time coming up at the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. There's not going to be like a gimme game for that team at all. And by the way, it just tells you again, as you said, in the good, bad, the ugly, how many good teams there are in that conference.
Right. Well, just get the 1 seed, outscore somebody, and maybe the time off, you get some of these guys back. That's certainly possible.
Who would be
you never know. A team could also kill themselves in terms of just silly turnovers. That could happen too.
Yeah. Your Super Bowl exacta right now would be who? I think a very common one is going to be Buffalo and Philadelphia. That might be the odds-on favorite right now.
I love the Eagles,
well,
but
short shot.
Certainly go back. What happened? You almost lost to Carolina at home. So assuming Hurts is okay and the finger doesn't give him that much trouble, the Eagles should come out of the NFC with that defense, which is nasty.
Yeah, the defense is nasty. It's a very good unit.
But I'm the same way with the AFC. I know how bad it looks, but until someone can beat Mahomes, it hasn't happened in regulation. Brady and Burrow had to do it in overtime.
Well, okay, so okay, maybe there's a bet here to be made, right? Again, based on what we know as of right now, how banged up the Lions are. If you think the Eagles are the best team right now in the NFC, I would agree with that, by the way. Right now, they probably are. You could key on. You don't have to do like Philadelphia over Buffalo or over. You could just who's gonna be the Super Bowl matchup right now. And if you keyed in on Philadelphia, now they're the favorites, so you're not going to get huge prices. But if you took them with like 3 teams in the AFC, if you took Philadelphia against Buffalo, Kansas City, and Baltimore, who burns you in the AFC? I don't think the Chargers will. Denver's not going to. I don't think Houston can.
No.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Pittsburgh probably, that's the thing. Pittsburgh will probably play Houston. So you're taking a team out right there.
Yeah.
But I still think Baltimore is going to be a big problem come January. And I know what's happened in the past, and it's fair to bring it up. What happened against Tennessee, what happened against the Chargers, what happened last year, they lose their minds. But I just think now with Henry and that they can still score and pound you on the ground, that they can win in the elements.
Okay, I asked you earlier. Let's fast forward here. KC has home field to go to the Super Bowl, and they're a pick'em against Buffalo, AFC title game. You said you'd take the Chiefs. Let's flip it here. Oh, hold on. I'll make it 2 different teams. What if it's Baltimore playing at Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl? Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite.
You know, Buffalo was destroyed in the first meeting. Game was in Baltimore, though.
That's right. Buffalo got destroyed by Houston.
Yeah. That was a weird game.
That game was way closer than it was misleading at the end of it. Because Allen that was one of the worst games he's had like since his rookie season.
I would take the Ravens.
Would you? Yeah.
It's just that the Bills can't have them. You know, both teams fall flat on the big stage. It's a tough one, but I would have to take the Ravens.
I guess either one of those matchups would be epic.
You want to say call out defense, pass defense. You watch the Bills play?
I know.
I mean, look what's happened the last 2 weeks. This guy's got to be perfect for them to win, and it wasn't good enough against the Rams.
Yep.
And I think the special teams could kill them.
All right, we're going to preview Monday Night Football coming up in about 10 minutes. Let me throw some awards at you today.
Yeah, this is big movement.
People love betting on NFL awards, and we now have had some serious movement. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt. Mike Tomlin is saying today that it's positive for Watt maybe this week coming up against Baltimore, but he got hurt, had to leave the game yesterday against Philadelphia. When you compare, and I know he's got the household name, media loves him, etc. When you compare TJ Watt's numbers to other players who are on the list, like Danielle Hunter for Houston, Will Anderson, the kid tonight for Minnesota, Jonathan Grenard, he has got fantastic numbers. I don't think Watt should be odds on at this point.
It's going to be brand name bias.
I think it probably will be.
Yep.
But don't sleep on the kid that, Benito for Denver, who had the pick 6 yesterday. His numbers are outstanding. And I think at this point, let's say Watt can't go on Saturday. Do voters start to gravitate towards the best defenses in the league and then take the guy who's had the best year from that team? Because some of the names I just rattled off, Denver, Minnesota, Houston, we're talking about 3 of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah. I think based on brand name bias, the odds warrant it.
Yeah. Offensive Player of the Year. Another guy got hurt in the same game. Saquon Barkley, he came back yesterday, didn't do much. 60-plus yards rushing. Number came back to the pack yesterday. I brought up this last hour.
Sunday's big.
Lamar Jackson, 25-1.
I think if Barkley has a big game against Washington, that can lock it up. Because then you're going to win the division. It's over, and then you're right there. The worst thing you do is the 2 seed then. So
I think Chase is still pretty alive.
Yeah, if he gets 100 yards, I think 100 yards and a touchdown, that'll just about do it.
If the Bengals have good weather this week, and it's not looking like we're going to get good weather, but if that flips, that Browns defense is a joke.
Yep.
And I think Chase could go absolutely bonkers against them again. I think Derrick Henry's gone. Not worth a bet. He's not going to win at this point. If they give the MVP to Allen, I don't think they give him Offensive Player of the Year. They'll look somewhere else. So honestly, look at Jackson's numbers. They're phenomenal.
Big opportunity on national TV. So the other one, the big movement in Coach of the Year. We have a new favorite. Dan Campbell, I said he couldn't be $2.
Right.
Then they lost, and now O'Connell's the favorite. Andy Reid came down as well. And then even more on Peyton. And then it just they go crazy every time a guy loses a game. Now Tomlin's back to 10-1. So Washington one, I still have Dan Quinn down the list. I don't think Dan Quinn should be in that range, 5-6-1. So I'm with you with McVay. If they win the division, they were 1-4, all these injuries. But O'Connell, to me, it's O'Connell or Sean Payton. Unless, and this really helps our case, our 25-1, if Carson Wentz can beat Houston. If the Chiefs can get to 16-1 with all their injuries, and if Andy Reid does this with what they've had to deal with and gets the 1 seed and
Carson Wentz plays and they win
the
games
game, yes, then I think Andy Reid's got a great shot. McDermott,
he absolutely does.
Everyone saw the stupid timeout and what he did against the Rams. Can you keep it up, please? Against the Rams, so he's out. So I just think this is becoming more clearer that it can't be Campbell with all the injuries. It's going to be O'Connell or Sean Payton.
Yeah, those two are absolutely who I would think, if the award was taken today and voted on, one of those two guys would win. I also think O'Connell probably blocks a lot of guys on the list. That's why I didn't put a lot of money on McVay at 40-1, because I think McVay is ultimately blocked by O'Connell based on how if the Vikings keep winning these games.
Well, it's a tough schedule. I mean, they should win the night, but then it's at Seattle. We'll see who plays their quarterback, and then they host the Packers, and then you get Detroit. So.
By the way, how about this? How about Sirianni if the Eagles win out and they're 15-2?
No way. Can't do it. Everyone thinks he's a buffoon.
I don't know
there's so
about
much
that.
talent. They wanted him gone after they were 2-2.
But how will voters look at it? That was what I'm asking.
I think it's more Fangio and Kellen Moore, and not Sirianni, and some of the weird stuff he does. Horrible. Clock management, fourth down business, when to kick the field goal, when to punt, stuff he does, right? The explanations afterward, no, can't get there. Jan Sanity contest, free to play, grand prize, $5,000 to the winner. Pick college football games against the spread before each round. You'll make 11 picks. Each game weighted differently by VSiN added the challenge. Picks due 30 minutes before kickoff of the first game of each round. Read the contest rules. Register vsin.com/JanSanity. Deadline Thursday, December 19th. We also found a VSiN host through our first contest back in 2017. Also get the college football playoff betting guide as well. Show off your skills. You can win $5,000 free to enter. vsin.com/JanSanity.
All right, we have a big Monday Night Football doubleheader. 2 games going on basically at the same time, and we can bet on this stuff. We'll talk about it next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
How you feeling today?
Feel good, buddy. Monday night doubleheader. I don't care. It's the game out here. You might have a bad matchup. This is great. Our final Monday night doubleheader. I hope they schedule more of these. I don't like how it's 5 and 5:30. But this is it's great. I'm looking forward to the pregame with Matt and Von Tobel.
Hear me out. No more Thursday night football. Monday night football doubleheader every year, every week. That's not better.
I like the Thursday games.
Yeah, but do you like it for the players though?
Hey, they know what they signed up for.
Do you like it because it's another game that we have to watch during the week?
Yeah, more
and
to talk about
that's
props.
Isolated?
Yes.
You'd never think about it had the NFL never put games on Thursday night.
I know. They won't stop, though. I mean, what Mark Cuban said years ago, the opposite has happened. Just that you're going to put too much games on TV and people are going to, it's never been more popular.
What is your plan for this weekend?
It's just, I'm in heaven. I got 2 TV set up, and it's unfortunate what's going on, that they're going against college football playoff games, but you have the volume on the college football playoffs, and then you're watching the NFL on the other team.
See, to me, I'd rather have the college games just isolated.
I know.
And then we have more games in the Sunday late afternoon window in the NFL.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's neither here nor there. But tonight we do have that final double. I love Monday Night Football doubleheaders. Love them. Can't get enough of them. I think it's one of the best things the NFL's ever done. And I want more of them. Vikings 7, total 43.5. I do have the Vikings 6.5 in one of my contest plays. You bet them minus 6.5.
Yeah, I'm strong on them. I just now you want to say everyone's watching and you were humiliated and embarrassed the last time out, but that's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to get a shot in the arm once you get rid of the coach, and that didn't happen. So the 305 to 2 yard disparity at halftime you alluded to earlier, how many yards they gave up, how many points, and how bad does that look now considering the Rams shut down the 49ers offense. I just think I'm all about the Vikings here, and I'm definitely all about the Vikings Sunday if it's Sam Howell. Now, Williams has played clean football the last 7 games in terms of interceptions, but you go back to that first game, they couldn't stop the Vikings at all. And the game plan was, let's contain Jefferson. They score 30 on him. Addison goes crazy, and then Jefferson only has 2 grabs.
Right.
Man, they fumbled at the goal line, too. So Minnesota did whatever they wanted in that first game, and now I just think the way Darnold and O'Connell are locked in, and they're taking shots down the field. He had the 5-touchdown game against Atlanta. He's going to have a clean pocket.
Can you bring up on air what you asked me during the commercial break about Sam Darnold? What if we get bad Sam Darnold tonight?
I just don't think that's going to happen here. It could happen down the road.
I'm looking at his game log right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a stink bomb against Jacksonville.
Yep, terrible.
They easily should have lost that game, or could have lost the game, I should say.
Yep.
That's pretty much like the only really bad, the Jets game that was in London.
Right.
Terrible. When they got out to a great lead, and then for some reason they just kept throwing it 100 yards down the field every pass play. Like, guys, maybe try something else. It's not working. But he was not great in that game. But that's pretty much it.
Well, I just think O'Connell's just calling a great game.
I agree.
And playing to his strengths. They're taking shots down the field. I know Atlanta guys were just lost in coverage all game, so it made it easy on them. But another reason why I love Addison, longest reception over 24.5, they're taking shots. He's tied for the league lead in attempts of 20-plus yards. And you have great weapons to work with. You got a great tight end. You got Jefferson. You have Addison. Good running game. Just don't fumble if you're Jones. And they're in position here to steal the division and get the 2 seed or maybe even the 1 seed. Tough schedule coming up, but I have seen no fight out of Chicago here since the Hail Mary game.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Minnesota, too. And, I mean, imagine if his name was not Sam Darnold. If it was some other... If this was Joe Flacco last year and he was putting together the whole season, we'd be like, oh my God, this is the resurgence of Joe Flacco, right? But for some reason, we still don't want to buy it with Sam Darnold. And I understand that. But you could put Minnesota's weapons up against any team in the league and say, yeah, I'll take my chances with Minnesota. Jefferson, either the first or second, third best receiver in the entire league. Addison now is a 2. What a year he's having. And Hawkinson is, I don't know what, top 5 tight end probably. So they have the skilled guys, like what? And so, as you said, the Bears made it a point. Their game plan, the last time they played only a couple of weeks ago, they went into it trying to shut Justin Jefferson down. They did whatever they could, and that part succeeded. However, as you said, Addison and Hawkinson went scorched earth. So what's the game plan tonight then? Are they going to try to are they going to say, well, that didn't work because we didn't win the game, so now we got to just try to cover the other 2 guys, and then Jefferson goes bonkers tonight?
You could make the case for both guys over. Not only yards, but longest reception. They're doing what they should do, which is take deep shots all the time. And it's been working.
They are unafraid to throw the deep ball. So here I kind of split the difference. I went with Hawkinson because he did go for 114 the last time they played.
Can I jump in quickly?
Yeah.
We'll tie it all together we were talking about. This was actually happening last year to show you what kind of a coach O'Connell is. But Nick Mullins kept turning the ball over. So we got so pissed off at him because he had 400 yards both games against Detroit. 400.
Didn't he have 400 against the Bengals too, and they lost that game?
That's what he had more. He might have, yeah. But he also kept that. They made then with the season on the line, he went to Hall, who was just lost, and he had to pull him at halftime.
That's right.
So it just goes. He just can't stand turnovers. But you see what the numbers Mullins put up, and even he won games with Dobbs. That infamous Atlanta game after he didn't even know what the plays were, and he was telling him through the headset. So you just see, don't turn it over, and this offense can look like this and do great things.
Tight ends versus the Bears in recent weeks. George Kittle, 6 for 151. Sam Laporta, no, this is a weird game. He had 3 catches on Thanksgiving, 6 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Hawkinson 3 weeks ago, 7 for 114. The overall numbers on the Bears. And And their defense, they are 31st in yards per route run allowed to the position. And TJ Hawkinson is the 6th best tight end in the receiving grade over at Pro Football Focus. So I went over 41.5 with him tonight in the game.
Yep, like that. Makes a lot of sense. The late game, this is Atlanta's season. You know, we talked to Ledbetter earlier. He made a good point. That this is they know what's on the line. They have to win out, and there's a great chance to do so. You're taking on the bad Raider team, 2 wins, backup quarterback. Then you have the Giants, 4th-string quarterback maybe. You go to Washington. I think they can be had. Almost blew a big lead to the Saints, and you close with Carolina. But can you keep Cousins clean? Can he move, but also run the ball? I mean, it's against a Raider team that can't hurt you on the ground. 2nd worst rushing attack. They have the worst turnover differential in the league. You know Ritter, he can't play. And let's get number 1 Pitts off the milk carton. Should be able to get him 30 yards, and let's pound him with the rock. Let's go Algier 11-1, first touchdown, and let's do this.
Yep.
I mean, Kirk is he's got to look right. Look, this is embarrassing. No touchdown passes, 8 picks the last 4 games. So it's easy to sell if you're Morris. The schedule's right here. This team has a chance to go 10-7 and right the ship. And it starts here against a bad Raider team. Look ahead was 3.5, got up to 6, now to 5.5.
Has Aiden O'Connell been ruled out of this game?
Well, he's supposed to go. He might try pregame.
I'm seeing him right now.
Ritter's supposed to start, but O'Connell was going to try pregame and see what it looks like.
All right, we'll get an update on this from Adam Hill. He's going to join us coming up in about an hour. He's at the stadium. He's taking video on Twitter right now. And Aiden O'Connell's out there running around looking totally fine. So, I mean, we'll get an update from him coming up at that time. But as I said earlier in the show, if O'Connell was healthy and Max Crosby was in this game, I think the Raiders could win it outright.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be betting the Raiders in this game. But to me, there's such a, and, you know, O'Connell's fine, I guess. But the drop-off here from him to Ritter and what we know about that guy, that is substantial in my opinion, and probably why the number is where it is at right now. But to your point on Pitts going over, yep, 27.5 is a number that's out there. Bet that earlier today. Raiders are the 3rd worst defense in the league against tight ends. Recent weeks, Cade Otton, 70 a week ago. Travis Kelce, 68. Noah Gray, 58 on Black Friday. Jonnu Smith, Mike Gesicki, each had more than 100 yards when they played in recent weeks.
Yep. Atlanta also got to take care of the ball. -9 turnover differential. Home dogs, 1-5 ATS on Monday night.
Oh, wow.
Another bad angle.
Yeah.
So,
Orlando Ledbetter said that his pick to click was Algier tonight in the game.
Yep.
So you brought up like 11-1. You can find a decent number on him to score anytime. The last touchdown of the game, he's 10-1. Can the Raiders run the football at all tonight?
No. McCormick? No way.
He looked good last week. He looked good last week, but again, I guess if you're the Falcons and Ritter's the guy.
Well, I want to play Bauer's stuff here, based number 1 on FOMO, but also just because he's their biggest weapon. But I can't trust Ritter.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think
O'Connell. And then why would you even play O'Connell? Just lose out and get the 1 or the 2 seed.
You should want to lose out. Now, if Ritter is going to be the starting quarterback here, you think his former team, the Falcons, know enough about him and how bad he was there.
Absolutely.
That you just say, well, this McCormick kid's pretty good, so he's not going to run the ball at all for us tonight. And if Ritter beats us, he beats us, but we don't have any faith in him doing that. So they can try to throw the ball all they want on us. That guy can't make a play.
No.
So
I'm going to take no score first 5 minutes in the late game. Or to think about it. I got to bet that. And then both teams to make a 33-yard field goal in the Raiders.
I like that one. That's a good one, I think. Up next, we'll recap the weekend that was with our best bets and get to our in-pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're out.
All right. The sides were fire. The props were a mixed bag. A swing and a miss on the Patriots game. Hunter Henry, not involved, couldn't go over, and May didn't do anything rushing. Those were two losers. And Miller, anytime touchdown, nothing there with the Saints. Jonnu Smith over receiving yards. He barely got there. 9 catches, though. Come on. Josh Allen rushing yards over a winner. Thielen, never in doubt, over 50.5. He had 51. Crazy. A.J. Brown over. Again, that was obvious. Crying about not getting the ball, complaining, and then he goes off early as well. Robinson couldn't go over rushing. Chase Brown did not go over receiving. Broncos lane 4 was a winner. The Jets were a winner as well with the side. And the soccer was 4-0. I liked Walsall, but then scratched at the last second against Barrow for Luke. So that's on me. But Coventry, a winner. I told you to Google Hull City. Their results. They have a one since October 1st. Winner with Coventry, winner with Blackburn, and you do not mess with the Wycombe Wanderers. Again, that was the League One angle. They're the best team in the league. They were playing the worst team, and they won 4-1. And then a loser. It was a 16-1-1 underrun. A loser with Army Navy under, and a great job by Navy, and a great game plan early. And they shut down Daly. It was like -$4 to score a touchdown. He didn't get in the end zone. The pending Tennessee plus 7.5 Saturday night. Can't wait. Notre Dame, Indiana under. Waiting on the weather. Could snow. I like it under. Cal lane 4 against UNLV Wednesday. This is all over the place now. Injuries to Cal. Guys in the portal. Quarterback hit the portal as well. Now down to 1. Florida lane 12 against Tulane. That is Thursday. That's up to 14. Tulane's quarterback gone. Tampa Bay lane 4 Sunday night against Dallas. Love how this offense is humming and the winning streak. I'm going to take them again. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal in the Las Vegas Atlanta game. Addison, longest reception, over 24.5. And this is Thursday, I believe. Georgia Southern against Sam Houston. Laying the points with Georgia Southern. Sam Houston's coach took the Temple job. 12 starters in the portal. I'll take Georgia Southern to beat Sam Houston. I think Sam Houston has played 6 straight unders, by the way, too. So I'll take Georgia Southern in the bowl game.
All right. Pretty good weekend. Yesterday in the NFL on the VSiN picks page, 9-2.
Beautiful.
Now, I told you about this on Friday. I wanted to give you a bunch of props with tight ends. They were not even available until either Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning, and they were stone smart. My whole weekend came down to stone smart. It's not even an exaggeration. Yeah. And Jordan Akins and Smart got there with the ladders, and Akins did eventually go over his prop too. So, but Isaiah Davis under 37.5, that was a winner. 2 losers on DeAndre Hopkins, over 44.5 yards and anytime touchdown, no good. Cowboys over 42.5. Actually, I thought the game was dead around halftime or before halftime, but they combined to have 2 fumbles in the red zone yesterday, which kind of killed me, but eventually went over. Cowboys plus the 3 that got there. Mac Jones ended up throwing 2 INTs, so that was a winner. Christmas Day, Spurs Knicks over 225.5 in the NBA.
Great call. You see Embiid's probably out now too?
Oh, of course.
If you laid the 5.5 with the Celtics next week?
You know what? Thanks for reminding me. Have you seen an updated number on the Sixers to miss the playoffs?
I haven't looked.
I was going to do that over the weekend and I totally forgot. Oh, by the way, another thing. Karl Anthony Towns got lost yesterday. You see what he did? 22 rebounds.
What?
This is so silly what's going on. They moved it to 13.5. They might have to go to 15.5 pretty soon on that guy. Ooh. So anyway, they play a little bit later on this week.
Oh, yeah. Sixers plus 110 to miss. Also,
plus 110.
The rookie got hurt.
That's right.
Kane got hurt.
Yeah. Tennessee pending bowl game plus 7.5. That's against Ohio State. And adding this for tonight. The double tight end prop.
Let's do it.
Okay, Hawkinson over 41.5. Kyle Pitts over 27.5.
You can't really do much with Bowers because his numbers are so high.
That's
and
crazy.
You can't trust Ritter.
How about the backup?
So, anytime touchdown, Mayer,
or first touchdown, or his receiving yards.
Oh, boy.
It's 21, 22.
32-1 first touchdown.
32-1 first. I don't hate it.
I don't mind Ritter, 21. Kirk throws a pick. He sneaks one in.
Okay.
Let's make sure he plays first. O'Connell's out there doing the Charleston before the game. Let's make sure he's ruled out.
Okay, is that it? We're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does the number go if we find out before game time that O'Connell's going to start? Back to 4?
3.5.
3 enough, yeah?
Yeah.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. Then I come in on Bowers. It's O'Connell.
Okay.
Good job. Good job.
Well, that's got to be a good feeling when you make all those soccer bets, and I'm guessing a majority of those were early on Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Are you up for those? Or did you just wake up and say, oh my God, 4-0, what happened? That's a pretty good way to start the day.
I did sleep in Saturday, but that was, I woke up, I saw 4-1 Wickham. Second half, I saw the Blackburn was an early one that was already a final.
Right.
And the Walsall 1-0 and what the other one, Coventry, whatever, but it's dreadful. I mean, Hull don't have a win since October 1st, and they can't score.
Yep.
Some of these prices are crazy. It still goes back to, that's the third time we've had that in soccer, where the top team is playing, and there's 20, 24 teams in these leagues, where the best team's playing the worst team, and it's only $1.30. Something like that. Yep. Then the Man City thing's hilarious, that they lose again, and they were a big favorite, and it was 1-0 in the 88th minute. So Nigel's 8 losses, 2 draws, 1 win, last 11 matches. You can find plus 550 bottom table, and God knows what relegation is, because Nigel thinks it's a 40-point reduction coming in February with the penalties.
Yeah. Okay, something
sorry.
I want people to specifically listen for tonight. It's during the first game. It's Minnesota and Chicago. I want to know if anybody in the broadcast crew is going to talk about Sam Darnold for comeback player of the year. He was recently off the board at some books. Then I believe, in fact, it was VSiN's very own Adam Shine who talked about it on his show, about how Sam Darnold would get his vote, despite how they tinkered with the rules last year.
They don't want you to vote for him.
Right. It's other circumstances that could lead to you voting for somebody else. He was put back on the board at some books as low as 9-1. Off the board to 9-1. You're looking at 12 right now. I saw 16 earlier today.
Not ineligible, but to me, ineligible, according to the league.
That's what I would think.
He was 2-1, and they pulled him. Because then word got out about, hey, everyone was saying, no,
can't do it.
Ian Rappaport had the tweet. Right. Oh, I didn't know this. He's ineligible.
That's right. And so
he's not, but technically, you know what I'm saying? He's not, but he is.
Sure. So I want to just know, tonight on the broadcast at all, it's going to be a primetime game. Is that going to be an angle that they're going to discuss? Yeah. Are they going to push for it and say, well, Flacco won it last year. I know they changed it in the fine print, but people are saying that Darnold can still win the thing.
Yeah.
I don't get Burrow.
I say no way, no how. What are you coming back from? You were a major disappointment.
I totally agree.
You're not coming. It's like they don't want Flacco part 2.
Right.
But you're right. Burrow, okay, I was hurt. All right. Well,
but here's the thing. Burrow, I think, missed, and I'll double check my math. I think he missed 7 games last year, and he already won the award. They're going to give it to him again? That's why, to me, the Tim Patrick angle makes so much sense. The guy missed 2 full years.
I got you. No, I'm with you on that.
Another touchdown yesterday for Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
So Dobbins is out. That's not going to happen. He's not winning. Kyler Murray, after the stretch of play that he had, and by the way, he came back at the end of last year too. Kirk Cousins, this stretch, forget about it. It's not going to happen. Anthony Richardson is lousy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm very curious. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I'm going to have full volume on that game the whole time just to see if they're going to discuss.
I don't know. It's going to, this Coach of the Year, wild. Who's going to be the finalist? All of it. Yep. Stick around. We got the pregame up next. Not 1, 2 games. We'll go live to the stadium. Allegiant, talk to Adam Hill, who's playing quarterback for the Raiders. And then cashing out with Joe Serralo, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then 7 a.m., Grace and Harrison with the morning line. I think the first game could be a lot of fun. And it's set up here now for the Vikings.
It is.
Not only division, but that is some tough games. But what a draw. You get a dead Bears team. You might get Sam Howell. Packers at home going to be tough. Why haven't they flexed that? That's a no-brainer to be the flex on Week 17 Sunday night. Then you close with Detroit. They were 7-1 as high as 7-1 to win the division Saturday.
I wonder what kind of number was out there on Minnesota in the summer to be the 1 seed.
Oh, God.
Or to win the NFC. Their win total was 6.5.
Yeah.
Another full hour, hardcore breakdown coming up.